Hi, writers. Yesterday we were talking about how nonfiction writers can actually teach more by comparing and contrasting information in their chapters. Today we're going to keep that same idea about comparing and contrasting, but we're also going to do something that we worked on last week. Remember that time when we were working on thinking of the big topic and all the little subtopics inside of it? Well, we're definitely going to be doing that same work today. We're thinking of our big topic, and then we're thinking about all the smaller things that our reader needs to learn in that topic. But we're also going to be comparing and contrasting information, even in our subtopics. Sounds really hard, but it's definitely not. I'm going to show you how to do it. So today's teaching point is that writers compare and contrast, and we do that by drafting our subtopics because we want to teach our readers. So I'm still writing my book about bulldogs, and I'm calling this chapter Chow Down. So you can tell that it's going to be about what bulldogs eat. And yesterday I had mentioned the French bulldog versus the English bulldog. So I'm going to still keep that same idea of comparing and contrasting those two kinds of bulldogs. And the information that I teach about both of them is going to be in my subtopic. So I have to decide, how do I want to teach this? Do I want to have like one page here all about what French bulldogs eat? And then the next page just about what English bulldogs eat. Or I could even talk about what the English bulldog and the French bulldog eat in the same part. So I have to decide like what structure I want to use. Do I want to just have this whole page be about what French bulldogs eat? And then this one be about what English bulldogs eat? Or do I want to have this one in this subheading, what do bulldogs eat? Maybe I could compare and contrast both of them all in the same section. Hmm. Well, let me think about that because I do want my reader to learn information about what both kinds of those dogs should eat. And I think that, well, at least for me as a reader, when I have things side by side, it kind of helps me learn better instead of having one page tell me one thing and another page tell me another. So I think that I'm going to compare and contrast what both of them eat in the same subheading. So, what do bulldogs eat? Well, I know that all bulldogs can eat dry food like kibble. All bulldogs can eat dry food like kibble. But now I want to show my comparing and contrasting. I want to show what's different about the French bulldog eating and the English bulldog eating. Well, I know that with the French bulldog, they don't need as much food as the English bulldog. So I think that would be what my difference is. So let me say that. All bulldogs can eat dry food like kibble. English bulldogs can eat up to 2 cups of food per meal. French bulldogs only need, oops, let me spell that right, only need about 1.5 cups of food per meal. Writers, do you see how I'm doing two things? The first thing that I'm doing is giving information in my subtopic. My big topic is them chowing down, like eating. But part of that topic is my subtopic. What should they eat? And I'm also comparing and contrasting the two different types of dogs and what they both should eat. I'm saying that they all eat dry food, but then I'm showing you the difference that the English bulldog needs about 2 cups of food every time they eat their meal, but the French bulldog doesn't need as much because he's smaller. Now, another subtopic, what should bulldogs avoid? Well, I know that all bulldogs should stay away from deadly food like chocolate and grapes. So I think I'll say all bulldogs should stay away from chocolate grapes, and any other food with seeds. But now I need to show what's different or the same about the French Bulldog and the English Bulldog. Well, I do know that you have to be very careful to not feed your English Bulldog too much food because then they can get really overweight and that's very unhealthy for them. It makes them not able to breathe well. So I think I'll say make sure not to overfeed your English Bulldog because he could get very sick if he's overweight. Make sure you don't overfeed your English Bulldog because they can get overweight and this will make them unhealthy. Writers, do you see how I was able to teach information using different subtopics and by comparing and contrasting the information? And the way that I chose to do this was to compare and contrast the two different dogs right in the same topic, in the same subheading. I could have just done one page here and just call this something like, I don't know, what French Bulldogs eat. I could have put that there and given information, and then this next section could have been, what do English Bulldogs eat? If you notice, I have to make a choice. I'm still comparing and contrasting in my subtopic, but I can do it two different ways. I can have both topics or both animals in the same area, or I could have one section only for the French Bulldogs and one only for the English. The choice is totally up to you. So writers, I'm giving you a final reminder. Today we are going to compare and contrast in our subtopics. We're going to write our subtopic and we're going to decide, do I want to put both pieces of information in the subtopic or do I want to have a separate section for each? I decided to put both pieces of information to compare and contrast right in the same subtopic. If that looks like it's going to work for you, make sure you do it. But if you're the kind of writer that wants to put everything separate, then you can do that also. But make sure that you're comparing and contrasting two things. So if you're writing about sharks, maybe say, what do the mako sharks eat? And then have another section, what do the hammerhead sharks eat? Or you can do like I did and put it all together. Mako sharks eat, but the hammerhead shark eats. The choice is yours. Okay, writers, it's time to get writing. Make sure that you have your subtopics and make sure that you are comparing and contrasting two things. Bye for now.